One bus, 4 hours, 13 people. Detroit 2020 showing off our city to people who seldom, if ever, venture into Detroit. People like Candace Howland of Warren, who's worried about crime.
Don't feel safe with everything that's been, on the news.
Mary and Bob Weldon of Tecumseh share the same concern.
Going into Detroit's kind of a little scary thing sometimes.
And Lynn Rogensky lives in Detroit, but has become disenchanted.
He lost his spirit and charm.
Jeanette Pierce lives in Detroit, too. She loves the city so much, she started Inside Detroit, a nonprofit tour company. She'll be our tour guide.
This tour is definitely not about just shiny Detroit or rose-colored glasses, but it's about building perspective.
The tour went through Corktown and southwest Detroit before arriving downtown. The first stop was to admire the architecture of the Guardian Building.
It's so beautiful, it's so majestic, and it's one of those little pieces of Detroit that you don't really know you have.
I've had like a second look of Detroit.
The next stop, Brevard Plaza on the Riverwalk. Many of our group had heard of the Riverwalk, few had seen it.
The last time I saw it, it wasn't really in that shape yet, so that was really cool too.
The entire area behind the Renaissance Center is different from I remember it.
It was a beautiful day on the waterfront. We gathered for a group photo with the Wren Center in the background. As we left the Riverwalk, a few people spoke of returning with their children.
I love the Riverwalk. I love their stuff for my kids. I think we're more excited to take our kids down there.
Back on the bus, we continued to head east along the river. Jeanette said big changes are expected in the area soon.
This is the most valuable land in the entire state right now, basically.
The mansions of Indian Village impressed many in our group. But we didn't only drive through the nicest areas, we also saw blight and urban prairie. At the Earthworks Urban Farm, we stopped just long enough to get a good look at a great harvest. Next stop, the Heidelberg Project.
The artist Tyree Guyton started this in 1987. He originally started painting big, colorful polka dots on abandoned buildings in his neighborhood to draw attention to the blight.
What impressed our group was that the art had succeeded in doing something a lot more important than attracting visitors. It made the neighborhood safe.
And that they feel safer walking across the street to look at a piece of art than, say, I would in Redford.
Our bus headed for Woodward, where we got out at the downtown Welcome Center. Then we went to check out a one-bedroom apartment at the Lofts at Merchants Row.
Right in the center of it all, it's around $1,100 a month.
Most of the downtown housing options, like these lofts, remain nearly full.
The rebirth of the loft scene downtown, that just completely has gone by me. Didn't know any of that was going on.
After downtown, we went to Midtown, where we visited a shop called City Bird.
They have all sorts of handmade items that they make, but also other artists that are handmade.
After window shopping, we were ready for lunch, and the traffic jam and snug was right across the street. Lunch was time to enjoy a wonderful meal and to hear a few comments from restaurant owner Scott Lowell.
This neighborhood I've seen in the past 10, 15 years changed from something that was a little bit more of an outpost, or a little bit of an outpost, to, there's a lot of people walking around now.
As we got back on the bus one last time, many of our group looked at the city with a changed point of view.
Did anything change your mind today?
Oh, absolutely. I would go down. Matter of fact, we were at lunch and we're going to the Tiger game on the 9th of September, and she wants to eat where we had lunch today.
Learned a lot, saw a lot. I have a different perspective of the city.
And what perspective is that now?
That I can go out of my comfort zone and actually visit places that I never even knew existed.
Jeanette thanked the group.
I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things. But more importantly, I hope that this has given you some food for thought. I hope that you'll continue to come back into the city, be a part of the change.
And that's exactly what Jeffrey Lindahl has in mind.
And today was like a really big eye-opener of saying, oh my gosh, there's more to Detroit than what I know and what people will tell me about. And I love it. I want to be a part of Detroit's change.
We got a nice little taste, but I want to kind of explore a little more and see what else is out there too.
So you think there's hope for Detroit?
Definitely. Everyone just has to work together.